Alright, so Colton has finished polishing the frets. They are all nice and shiny. He has removed the tape. We're doing another video because we kind of lost contact with the first one, so I'm going to go ahead and clean the fretboard for him. When we clean the fretboard, we're just removing the grime and all the scum off the fretboard from the oils off your fingers and anything that just might get on it from setting around. Through a couple of Facebook groups that I belong to, found that most people that I have become associated with are using naphtha. It just thins and varnishes cleaner, cleans greasy, waxy, oily surfaces, machine parts. So it's better than using alcohol or any other substance that I've heard of. It does a really good job of cleaning. And we're just going to use this and scrub each fret area
with steel wool.
With 4/0 steel wool. This is how I began cleaning frets, to remove tarnish and oxidation and all that, but once we caught on to the Dremel tool and the buffing compound, rubbing compound, it just works so much better. Gets them a lot shinier than before. One thing I don't care for about the steel wool is it seems to leave a lot of shavings. So typically, as I'm going down here, once I start getting closer to the body, I'll throw a towel or something over the pickups, just to avoid getting any little metal shavings from the steel wool into the pickups. Just because they're, well, magnetic and they kind of cling to all that. So as you can see, that little swipe there cleaned a lot of grime off of the fretboard. It looks very dry because the naphtha does take a lot of the moisture out of the fretboard. But once we're done here cleaning this, Colton is going to go down through it and he's going to show you that we oil the fretboard with lemon oil. And that will be finishing up how we do this project here. Colton's going to pause the video. So I have finished cleaning with the naphtha, going down through the entire fretboard. Scrubbed away all the gunk and finger oils and all the impurities that was on the fretboard, and it kind of dried it out, so we're going to use lemon oil to refresh the fretboard. Just a furniture polish for lemon oil. We use the Wyman. A lot of guitar stores sell the regular lemon oil for guitar necks, but and there's a lot of people that argue back and forth, don't use this, don't use that. I've been using this for quite some time and have never had an issue. It never had a build-up problem, never seen any issues whatsoever. So if Colton stops here and takes a little break, you can see how that is shining up the area, just putting some moisture back into that wood. So once he is done with this here, just puts on a very light oil. I've actually done, I would say, probably somewhere in the area of 30 or 40 guitars, and that's all that's been used out of this bottle. And a lot of that hasn't even been put on the guitars. It's just how much has been put on the rag and not even used. You just put on a very thin layer, kind of let it soak in, and then you start restringing the instrument. This is usually the last thing we do before we put the strings on, and once we put the strings on, we begin doing the setting the action, doing the intonation, and kind of how we do it. So gonna end this video here on the cleaning and oiling of the fretboard, and we will move on to doing one about putting on the strings.